He drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse. Wow. 5 seconds to go. Find Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls off. And Arizona State wins it. Edward pulls off. And buries the block. Daniels takes the shot for Kirby.
Nicer. The sun isn't completely beaming down on us. This one lifted deep to center field. Hot back to the trap. Leaping attempt. No, he won't get it. It is a 3-run home run for Tobias. And the lead, now a touchdown for ASU at 13-6. It's the 15th of the season for Jacob Tobias to lead Arizona State. They've scored the last 7 runs of this game. That one went 408 feet. An exit velocity at 98 miles per hour and a launch angle at 29 degrees.
Got time for one?
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Big 3 problem. Come on, Connor.
Hey guys, why don't you come sign these real quick?
A lot nicer. The sun isn't completely beaming down on us. This one lifted deep to center field. Hot back to the trap. Leaping attempt. No, he won't get it. It is a 3-run home run for Tobias. And the lead, now a touchdown for ASU at 13-6. It's the 15th of the season for Jacob Tobias to lead Arizona State. They've scored the last 7 runs of this game. That one went 408 feet. An exit velocity at 98 miles per hour and a launch angle at 29 degrees.
Welcome into this Thirsty Thursday edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratenuto at, as you know, Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter, also on my good old IG, Michael.Caratenuto.5. And yes, Pitchfork Lunchers, you love it, you know it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. Subscribe, because if you missed any interviews, like with the legendary Sun Devil coach Larry Quintera, yesterday just celebrated his 100th birthday, the Century Club, and man, it was just, like I said, it was great to talk to him. I'm so glad that he made the time for me to come out there, get on Pitchfork Lunch, and enjoy it. Obviously, look at that, Pat's Run, bam, but yeah, if you missed that interview, which was, again, just absolutely amazing, and again, just the energy you could tell he still has, the passion, phenomenal. But that being said, if you did miss it, I might play it again because I obviously have it archived, saved. But you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and go check that out amongst all the plethora of other interviews that you may have missed. So again, it's at MS. Go to YouTube and then go to my YouTube channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC005 and subscribe away. Well, so the golf regionals, man, it was it was a sprint to the finish for the men in the regionals, and it was just so exhilarating and exciting, to say the least. The why is it? Okay, sorry. No, so the men um um so Out of the Rancho Santa Fe region, ASU did finish 6th. And the 5 teams coming out were Oklahoma ended up winning it. Cal finished 2nd. Oklahoma State finished 3rd, tied for 3rd with West Virginia, and then North Florida finished 5th. ASU again finished 6th. That is weird. I thought, anyway, sorry. So they did finish 6th, 5 shots out, which was a bummer. They did make a charge. But yeah, they did finish 6th. And again, this is really, oh, you know what? I know what I did wrong. Sorry. So anyway, I know live. I had notes on it, but there was a switch in there was a switch, and that's why, like I said, they finished 6th. Again, they made a charge. Say we're in 8th, and then there's a switch, but Riggs Johnson again had a hell of a 3rd round, and again just made that charge. There we go. Yes, so ASU finished 4 over yesterday, and North Florida was just, they were climbing back to them, but Oklahoma shot 11 under. That's what I want. That's what it changed because I told you they won it. They finished shooting 11 under, and they were 3 under for the tournament. So they were 8 over going in to the last round. And you want to talk about shooting darts, that's going to get you there as they did that. Cal was 6 shots back at +3. Oklahoma State was 8 shots back, as was West Virginia at 5 over. And then 13 shots back was North Florida. ASU at 15. And when you look at the player leaderboard, Riggs Johnson finished tied for 9th. He shot a 1 under on in the final round to finish at 1 over. But yeah, I mean, this is a young man that birdied on the front 9 yesterday. Final round, you're thinking, all right, come out, boom. He goes birdie on 1, then he bogeyed 2. Then he parred 3 through 7. He bogeyed 8, but then he birdied 9, made the turn, birdied 10, parred 11, birdied 12, and then bogeyed 13, and then parred out. So, I mean, made that charge, but finished, like I said, 1 under for the day. And yeah, he parred 14 through 18, made a hell of a run. And then Jose Luis Ballester, who I was telling you, I mean, was he on the front 9, struggling a little bit, but he shot even par yesterday. He parred 1 and 2 yesterday, which is beautiful, which you want to see. But then he bogeyed 3. He parred 4 and 5, bogeyed 6, parred 7, birdied 8, parred 9, parred 10 when he made the turn, birdied 11, and then parred out 12 through 18. So, like, and seeing some highlights too. And I'm not gonna try to remember what hole it was in the back 9, but yeah, I had a opportunity after 11 for another birdie, but it's just. But you talk about a hell of a consistent round, and he finished at +3 for the tournament. And then Connor Williams, his teammate, who also finished +3, said he was again got off to not so bad of a start on the front 9. He parred 1 yesterday, then he bogeyed 2, then he parred 3, 4, 5, and 6. He birdied 7, parred 8, but then bogeyed 9. Made the turn, bogeyed 10, but then check this. He birdied 11, parred 12 and 13, birdied 14 and 15, parred 16 and 17, and then had the bogey on 18. But he finished his round even for the day. So he shot even par +3, both him and Ballester for ASU. And then you look at that. I mean, those 3 rounds, -1, even, and even. Like, and then for Wenyi Ding, finished tied for 42nd, and he on the front 9 started out pretty smooth. He parred 1 through 3, and then he bogeyed 4, parred 5 and 6, birdied 7, and then parred 8, bogeyed 9, parred 10, had a double bogey on 11. Bounced back for a par on 12, but then double bogeyed 13. But then after that, he parred 14 through 18. So obviously not the round he was looking for. I get it. I understand. He is very talented, as is this team. So he finished at +5 yesterday. And then Preston Summerhays also finished at +5 yesterday. And look, he came out. And you talk about playing consistent. He came out shooting darts. I mean, he parred the whole front 9. Parred the front 9. Makes the turn. He double bogey 10. You're like, all right. Then he parred 11 through 14. But then he had bogeys on 15, 16, and 17 and returned to par for 18. And, you look at that like, man, and he's kicking himself. He had such a phenomenal season. And just – again, in this course, like if you went and looked at it, guys, I don't know if you went and looked at it. Hit me up in the comments if you did, because if you did go look at it, it's a beautiful course. Beautiful course. Yeah, so Summer Hayes finished at plus 13, tied for 50th. So that is where that is at for golf. So the men's golf show or golf so the championship again, May 24th through 29th at the Omni La Costa Resort and Spa in Carlsbad, California. So the teams that did qualify for this are Auburn, Virginia, Texas Tech, Ohio State, LSU, Clemson, East Tennessee State, UNC, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Baylor, Vanderbilt, Purdue, Florida. The team down south, I will say Arizona. Respect to them for qualifying. New Mexico, Oklahoma, Cal, Oklahoma State, North Florida, Illinois, Florida State, Texas A&M, SMU, Stanford, Texas, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Utah, and Wake Forest. Individuals that qualified whose teams may have not are Ethan Evans from Duke, Nick Matthews from NC State, Cameron Huss from Wisconsin, Andy Zhu from San Diego, Ben Warian from Minnesota, and Kelvin Hernandez from University of North Carolina, Greenville. So, yeah, I mean, look, ASU shot a 286, a 285, and then literally, I mean, they dropped, as a team, they dropped one shot each day. You look at Oklahoma, they went 284, 284, and then, like I said, 269. It's craziness. Cal went 280, 284, and 279. Oklahoma State went 278, 288, and then 279. West Virginia went 285, 280, 280, and then North Florida went 277, 286, and 287. But yeah, that 277 start, I mean, again, it protected them. It gave them a lead. And ASU, I mean, look, charged up because they were in 8th, and then Washington was tied with them, and they were right there with USD. And ASU finished 2 shots clear of USD, 5 shots clear of UW. But, man, just, but they gave it a hell of a run. Coach Thurman, this team had a hell of a year. And I know, when you look at it and you heard Coach Thurman, had him on the show. Again, another reason why I subscribe to the YouTube channel, kids. Had him on the show. Like, that is one thing as to where when you see it, it's how you play and how you battle. So, I mean, they started, may have not been the best, but they charged every round. I mean, you look at what they did. And I mean, again, Preston Summerhays, like, you parred the whole front 9. Yeah, sign me up for that, right? Yeah, sign me up for that because I mean, you would think like, okay, you're right there, and yeah, on the cusp. But man, just again, the way the team played all year long for Coach Thurman. Yeah, I know for the seniors, obviously, always tough to go out that way. But to go out in region, not that way, but in regionals when you're right there on the cusp. So, man, but hats off to you. Forks up to the men's golf team. I mean, what they did this year, last few years, absolutely awesome. So, that's just awesome. Like, I mean, again, the year they had, and now I will say, I'll get to this too. We go to the women who are headed to the tournament in Carlsbad, California. They finished fourth at their regional in in the Cle Loom regional site. Stanford finished first. I mentioned that to you. And then Duke, Virginia, ASU, and then San Jose State. Yeah, I mean, ASU, the women, and again, for Missy Farquet, they shot a 288 and then a 303. And then, but they cut that down to a 294. But Stanford, I mean, they were 17 under. They shot a 284, and this was a par 72, 6,306 yard course. In Washington. And yeah, there's a little bit of water on that course too. And the conditions, again, there's a lot of wind. But Stanford, the only team to finish under par at 17 under. And their last round, Duke was 1 over they shot actually a 7 over on the last day. So they were 6 under going in. But just again, tough last day. Virginia finished at 12 over, and then ASU at 21 over, and then San Jose State at 23 over. But Stanford had the top 3 finishers too, by the way. So you're going to be 17 over when your top 3 finishers are 14. Or I said 17 over, pardon me. You're going to be 17 under when your top 3 finishers are 14 under. As Rachel Heck, Kelly Zhu, and Megha Gane of Stanford, again, 1, 2, and 3. And then they also had the 5th place finisher, Paula Martin San Pedro. She finished at 2 under. ASU's highest finisher, though, Ashley Menny, had a hell of a round. Round slash match, you could say. She finished a +3, shot 1 over. I mean, like I said, it was a par 72, and she shot par in the opening round, and then had a 74, then a 73. So yeah. But you look at what she did. I mean, that last round, I mean, 2 birdies and 3 bogeys on a course that was, again, just insane. So she was there. Beth Coulter finished tied for 12th, 1 shot behind Minnie at 4 over. And her round, I mean, look, her front 9, she parred holes 1, 2, and 3, and then 7, 8, and 9, but she bogeyed 4, 5, and 6. And then she made the turn, parred 10, bogeyed 11, and then parred 12 and 13. But then look at that. Birdied 14, birdied 15, and then bogeyed 16, but parred out on 17 and 18. So, yeah, it was a I mean, she shot even par on the back 9. But yeah, I mean, again, this course, just beautiful course. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, so Coulter finished, Minnie finished tied for 9th, and then Coulter finished tied for 12th. And then Paula Schultz Hansen finished tied for 19th, and she finished with 7 over, but she was 2 under. Yeah, check this out. I know I mentioned it the day after it happened, but it's been a minute. So her final round, right? She bogeyed 1, parred 2 and 3, birdied 4 and 5, parred 6, bogeyed 7, parred 8 and 9, right? Made the turn, parred 10, 11, and 12. She then proceeded to bogey 13, but then goes to 14, a par 5, 528. Eagle. Yeah, that's right. Gets the eagle, and then pars 15, 16, 17, birdied 18 to go 2 under and make that charge. I mean, she shot up 23 spots, finishing, at 7 over. Tied for 23rd, but 2 under. I mean, Megha Gane of Stanford was 5 under in the final round to get to 2 under. So, but yeah, second best third round score, the 2 under. I mean, Lucia Lopez Ortega was -1, was 1 under, and so was Amanda Sambach of Virginia, and Rachel Heck also of Stanford shot a -1, but all tied for the second best round of the day. But yeah, an eagle. I mean, that's just that is just typical golf. You bogey and then forget, getting the shot back with a birdie. So she's like, oh, par 5, 528. Okay, I'm going to get there in 2. And she did. So yeah, that is phenomenal. And now they are getting ready. They are getting ready for the national tournament, which will be in Carlsbad, California. So again, just wanted to get that out there. And then baseball. Hey, tonight I showed you some baseball to start the show. I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk baseball. You know what? We're going to hear from Ethan Mendoza stayed hot, and that's why, or Ethan Mendoza has been hot. Kian Vu has stayed extremely hot, and they take on Texas Tech tonight at 6:30. So again, get on out there. To Phoenix Muni, 6:30 tonight, 6:30 tomorrow, and then even 6:30 on Saturday when they take on UNLV. So yes, but we are going to hear from Kian Vu and Ethan Mendoza was part of it, but just his attack to hitting, and obviously it hasn't changed. But I want to play it because again, it was from like last week. We can they rolled together, but recently, and it's one of those things where like the way he's hitting is just absolutely. It's been for him. It's been all year. I mean, obviously putting in the work, right? But we're going to hear from him and Ethan Mendoza when we get back and talk a little more baseball as they get ready for this matchup against Texas Tech. So do not go too far and get, again, quench your thirst, Thirsty Thursday, and I will be back with more Pitchfork Lunch.
Lifted, back to right, track, wall, gone. For the second, Kian Vu has hit a 3-run bomb late in the game. He's threatening to overrun Ryan Campos on the base paths. He's so excited. And the Sun Devils, once again, have blown it open. It's 10-1.
Exit velocity of 104 miles. Be safely in.
Yeah.
And that is it. There it is. Kian Vu. I mentioned it. Like, that's from Stanford last weekend, the huge sweep. I talked about it. You guys know about it. You should love it, embrace it. But it's just awesome due to the fact that, look, I mean, you look at what Kian Vu has done this year. Like I said, leading the team, batting .419 average-wise, batting .419, and just absolutely crushing it. And it's awesome because but look what he's done all year. And, you know, we heard Willie Bloomquist talk about obviously being a pinch hitter, like what, you know, he's meant. What he, you know, the mindset, and yeah, to sit for that time. And it is a special, it is a different mindset and prep. And you think about, I mean, not, attack to hitting, no, but just sitting, for a huge portion of the game. Hey, get up there, let's go. And to deliver. And he was delivering, and he kept, delivering. And it was one of those things where, Willie's like, got to find a way to get him in the lineup more. And that bat has awoken. And like I said, he's batting 419. Like, that's just insane. But yeah, this is, and I didn't get a chance to, as I think back, play this. But yes, this is, without further ado, Ethan Mendoza, Kian Vu, after a big win. I want to say, I think it was against UW. But nonetheless, either way, just listen to how he's talking about the hitting. And, like, yes, he's locked in, but it's also kind of, I'm not going to say surreal, but I'll let him tell you.
So, do you know where you were on the batting average leaderboard entering today?
Yeah, I did take a peek at it actually. Second, it's pretty cool.
What's it like now that you're an everyday guy? You've earned your way to this spot. Can you just reflect on how the season has been, and just kind of staying steady with what you bring in the day to day to now have this kind of success consistently?
It feels good, obviously. Yeah, like I just want to win, really. So like it feels good that I can be in there every day. Like, we all love playing baseball, so it's nice to get that opportunity to play every day. But at the end of the day, I just want to win. So whatever spot that I'm in is the spot that I'm going to try to make the most of.
You see this kind of surge coming, or before the season, where your expectations were and where you are actually right now?
I mean, I didn't. These were my expectations. I've definitely exceeded my expectations, I guess. But I think I'm just trying to have quality at bats, I guess, and I think that the attitude I've had is kind of what set me up for the results that I'm getting, I guess. And so I think that, yeah, I mean, this could have happened to anyone. I think anyone. I don't even know. I don't know how to put it into words, but like, feels great. Like it's a crazy feeling, and it's kind of surreal. So I think I'm just trying to like stay focused and not let myself get wrapped up in those numbers, I guess.
Not sure if you saw, Kian, but that grand slam went 480 feet. Have
Yeah,
you ever hit
it.
a ball that far in your life?
No, I've never hit a ball that far in my life.
Did you feel it off the bat? Like, I just hit this to freaking Mars or something?
It's one of those that like you swing and it doesn't really you don't feel it really, because it's just that squared up, I guess, and it's cool. It's cool. I don't even know like how to really process all this. Like, I hope I could just keep it going. Yeah.
I think for both of you, Willie's talked a lot about trying to get you guys to think less at the plate and just go up there and swing it. He's done a lot of hit and runs recently. Is that something that you especially felt tonight of, especially in the later stages of that game, just going up and swinging the bat as hard as you can and trying to make contact?
Yeah, I feel like that's so far been our games for the past 2 weeks. I feel like most of us have gone out there with a plan to attack the fastball, and that goes back to Goffey in the cages, just every day, just working with us, and it just keeps showing out in the game. So we're gonna keep that going.
I think it's maybe a return of, we heard in the very beginning of the season about you take batting practice and you're not allowed to take a pitch. You think that's kind of the mentality again with this team?
Yeah, I think we're all in attack mode right now, and we just need to keep it up until something else happens, and then we'll adjust from there and keep going with the way we're going right now.
Did you get that ball back, Ethan?
I've not got the ball back. I think when they're both in, so they might have snagged it. So I know. I wish I would have got it though. Yeah.
Keaton, 7 homers in your last 11 games. Is there anything changed as far as your power, or is that just a bat speed thing that you've been working on that's increased your exit velocity?
Not really. I've always had that power. I just decided to keep it within, you know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think Muni's obviously a great place to hit. It's dry, the ball flies, so that probably has something to do with it. I think if anyone's trying to just hit the ball hard, they're gonna run into a couple, and so that's what the last 7 homers, I guess, have probably just come from, just trying to get the ball in the air. And then the wind's been crazy too recently, so that's probably played a huge factor.
How do you think pitchers are adjusting to you, and to you, Ethan? You guys are both hitting well lately. How do you think guys are adjusting to you guys during your hot streaks?
I mean, Goffey probably says it best. Like, we're supposed to be a team that the other team is scared to throw a fastball to, and I think that's us right now. Is that most people, like, for example, like this game, like, we're scoring a bunch of runs, and most of the hits are on fastballs, and that just like proves to like the work we've been putting into the cages.
Ian, was any of your family in attendance this weekend? I know you guys playing UCSD. Any connections to that team or anything like that?
No, I know a couple kids over there, but no, my family will be out here this weekend. So.
Before your freshman year, the way your swing was then and the way your swing is now, are there any material changes that you underwent in how your swing is from then till now, or is it mostly the same?
I think I mostly have just been working on my timing and getting ready a little earlier. I will say in high school I did try to lift the ball a little more, and then Goffey and Bloomy's approach to it is kind of like trying to backspin it low liners. So I think those two are the biggest changes that I've implemented into my swing, and it's definitely, I've seen a lot of progress in that. So definitely earlier, being more on time, and then backspinning the ball hard on the ground is kind of what the two things that stick out to me and the differences in my swing.
You've been working with a defensive specialist like Steven. How has that dynamic been, and sort of some tips you've been able to gain from him?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, he knows a lot about like what he's doing. Obviously, you can see in the field, like he knows what he's talking about, and like he's helped me a lot in just like knowing which balls to charge, which ones to not, and like the timing of the game is like definitely different from high school. And he's helped me like like tell me how like to adjust myself in the game.
And on a night like obviously with the pitching and hitting, I know Willie's been talking a lot about that all year, but when they're getting you guys back to the plate that fast, how much of an advantage you feel it is?
Can you say that again?
The pitching when they're just ripping through. Or go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean the second inning that Cole pitched, that was like, what was it, like 7-8 pitches? I mean, that's like a game changer. Like you're hitting, you want to get at like back to hitting, like that's like can help us like in the future just win a bunch of ball games. Like if their pitching just keeps out there and just attacks them and lets our defense work, like we will win a lot of ball games.
Yeah. And there they are. You heard it, but I mean, like you said, it's surreal. Like, I mean, he's making jokes about it, and I mean that, you know, is in the midst of this, and it's still carried over. I mean, but yeah, I mean, look at this again, like, and that's you know UW, but it's been like this all season, and this is Stanford. And I mean, you look at him in there, and he's just seeing the ball, and I mean, the bat speed and everything. Like you said, he goes off backspin at liners, but you make contact like that.
For the second
and
game,
yeah, I mean, you heard it. I mean, it was 2 straight games. He hits a 3-run bomb. You know, I mean, it's. And yeah, I mean, for Kian Vu, like again, but you see that, and even Ethan Mendoza, like you said, how it affects them, and that's why, you know, even there. Lastly, I asked them about the pitching. You know, like yeah, we get, you know, Fisher has it, but yeah, like Ethan Mendoza says, I mean, Cole Carlone has an 8-pitch inning. Like the bats are still they're not even in the cool down mode. So. Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, it's exciting to see. And I mean, when you look at, you know, what, like you said, he's hitting 419 going into today's game on the season, I want to say. Oh, and by the way, absolute huge shout out. Ryan Campos on being named a semifinalist for the Dick Hauser Trophy. And that just came out right as the show was starting today. So it says it's obviously it's a college award, but it's given to the top player based on 2 rounds of national voting by the NCBWA members, which is the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. I know a lot of you know that. For some that don't, that's why I said it. Do not message me and tell me I'm treating you like you went to school at the school down south. I am not. I'm just saying, I was just letting you know, just in case, that that's what it was. So, yes, the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. So 2 rounds of voting. It's the 37th year of the award. Trophy was first presented in '87 to Mike Fiore of Miami, and not awarded in 2020 due to COVID-19, as we know, suspension of the season. Finalists will be announced on Thursday, June 8th. There are 68 candidates from 18 different conferences and 48 different schools. The SEC leads with 16 semifinalists, with the ACC having 13, Conference USA with 6, Pac-12 with 5, Big 12 and West Coast Conference with 4 apiece. Big West Conference USA, Southern and Sun Belt with 3. The American Athletic, Western Athletic, and Ohio Valley with 2, and the Atlantic 10, CAA, Southland, and SWAC with 1. A&M and Wake Forest each had 4 semifinalists. Tennessee and Florida State had 3 standouts listed. All 9 positions on the field are included, with 13 outfielders, 6 first basemen, 8 third basemen, 5 catchers, 5 second basemen, 5 shortstops, 2 designated hitters, 3 utility players, 13 starting pitchers, and 8 relief pitchers. And then they also have their the NCBWA Stopper of the Year award for top relief pitcher also will be presented on June 14th, as well as the Division I Coach of the Year. So, yes, again, a very awesome trophy. And, again, Ryan Campos is a semifinalist. So, yeah, I mean, again, what he means to this team, again, in certain parts lineup, then you put it, Willie puts him at leadoff again. You know, if he hits a dinger to start the game, you're not going to complain because you got to run, right? But, you know, runners on base, and those guys, you know, Ethan Mendoza, Steve Ondita turning the lineup over for him have been huge. But Ryan Campos, and yeah, when you look at, you know, like I said, the stats this year, I mean, for Kian Vu, 419, I was right, 419, as mentioned it yesterday. 47 RBIs. He scored 46 runs, 10 doubles, 2 triples, 12 home runs. He's part of the Three Amigos 12 home run crew with himself, Kian Vu, Brandon Compton, and Nick McLean. And it's funny because those are 1, 2, 3 in batting average too, and those are tied for second in home runs. But yeah, Kian Vu, 419, Brandon Compton, 351, Nick McLean up to 337, Ryan Campos up to 332, Ethan Mendoza 320, Jacob Tobias at 311, Steve Ondina at 301. So, like, I mean, that's, you know, and then Harris Williams right there at 293, Isaiah Jackson at 266 and climbing. But yeah, it's whew, like I said, for Kian Vu, it is just awesome. And Ryan Campos, I mean, you look at walks, 36 walks, he leads the team. So you're not only are you batting 332, you've swiped 36 free bases. And actually 41. I take that back. So he's drawn 36 walks. He's been hit by 5 pitches, which is still a walk. But I know, of course, I have to score a hit by a pitch, but you can't score a walk doesn't count as an at bat. I will never understood that. You were at bat just because you got a walk doesn't mean it shouldn't count as an at bat, official at bat. Again, they've explained it for years. I don't agree, but nonetheless, 41 free bases for Ryan Campos. Nick McLean, 29 walks, hit by 6 pitches, 35 free bases for Nick McLean. Jacob Tobias, 27 walks, 5 hit by pitches, so 32. So all of them, that's over 90 free base, almost 100 free bases for this Sun Devils team. And yeah, early in the season, maybe they weren't taking advantage of it, but guess what? They are now. So they have Texas Tech tonight at 6:30. And it's it's at Phoenix Muni, like I said, 6:30, and it's military appreciation weekend. So yes, don't be bashful. Get on out there. Get on out there again. Salute to service. It's military appreciation, but salute to service weekend. So yeah, Texas Tech 6:30 tonight, and then so tomorrow at 1 p.m. By the way, I did not mention this. So UNLV will take on Texas Tech at 1 o'clock. That's a 1 o'clock game tomorrow, and then at 6:30. Texas Tech will play their second one against ASU. So interesting there. And then on Saturday, like I said, at 6:30, Saturday at 6:30, they will take on UNLV to wrap up Salute to Service weekend. So, yeah. So all 3 games are on Pac-12 Arizona and AM 1060 on the radio if you can't get out there. But yes, that is but yeah, the women again headed to Carlsbad for the NCAA Championships again. Much better conditions in the regional. We'll see what the Stanford trio does because they'll definitely be fighting for a you would think Stanford would be fighting for a national title, but hey, ASU can be right there. And then again, Forks Up, big shout out to men's golf. The Rancho Santa Fe Regional, again, they finished 6th, the top 5 advanced to the national tournament. But again, man, Coach Thurman, that team, I mean, so stoked. I got to see him out at the Thunderbird for a little bit, but then obviously at the Pac-12 championships here in Carefree, and just to see them bring home that title and the way they, charge again, no surprise they made a charge after maybe a teeny bit of a bumpy start, but man, absolute Forks Up to Coach Thurman and the men's golf team. I mean, Riggs Johnson, obviously hell season, Preston Summer Hayes, and then Connor Williams, Jose Luis Balster, Wenyi Ding. I mean, just again, it went on and on for Coach Thurman, and again, they gave it a hell of a run, and man, just again, just another phenomenal. And they brought home the 13th Pac-12 championship. And yes, I know they wanted to bring home more, and as you always should as a competitor, but phenomenal, hell of a season, absolute forks up, pitchfork lunch mojo there to Coach Thurman and the men's golf team. And for baseball, like I said, this weekend, still rolling. So we shall see what happens. So, but that's going to do it. You guys have a great rest of your Thirsty Thursday. I will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, aiming for a guest. Again, stay tuned. But again, you can hit me up at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter. Hit me up in comments here. I see the show live there every day. Also, my IG, michael.carrotsnuo.5. And you guys know it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. For those of you watching whose friends can't, who missed a phenomenal interview. Again, a lifelong Sun Devil, a man that just turned 100 years old. And again, got to sit down with him. It was phenomenal. Coach Larry Quintara, and man, just a phenomenal man, but just his Sun Devil story and everything. And oh man, just if you missed it, you can go to YouTube. That's what I'm saying. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. And you'll get caught up on the plethora of interviews, and there's still quite a few more to come. So nonetheless, have a most great rest of your Thursday. I will see you tomorrow, and I'll leave you on today. I have a little something extra, but a little mojo going into tonight for the Devils, and the young man we heard from, Kean Vu, Ethan Mendoza, Ryan Campos, Nick McLean, Jacob Tobias, Brandon Compton. Let's get it done. So yes, but leave you a little something extra. Have a great rest of your day. And yes, you guys know this. I know you know this, but it's a Sun Devil state. And yes, as always, forks out.
The 3-1. Lifted, back to right, track, wall, gone. For the second straight game, Kean Vu has hit a 3-run bomb late in the game. He's threatening to overrun Ryan Campos on the base paths. He's so excited. And the Sun Devils, once again, have blown it open. It's 10-1.
Terry's three. Johnny Walker matching up against control. His shot. Bruce score. They score. They tie the game up 2-2. Recent drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse. Wow. 5 seconds to go. By Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls on. And Arizona State wins it. Edwards pulls up. And buries the puck.
Takes this